Howdy. Hope everybody's doing well. Just like he said, my name is Mikado, Hinson. I serve as the Director of Player Development for Texas A&M football. Just completed my first season. Previously, I was at the University of Houston for 14 years as their team chaplain and the Director of Fellowship of Christian Athletes there. Had the fortunate privilege of serving as the team chaplain for the Houston Rockets for 8 seasons as well. But it's opportunities like these that I really enjoy coming out to speak. I love speaking to the young men, and then also when the parents are involved and coaches are there, it's kind of right in my wheelhouse. And so what do I do with the Texas A&M football team? You see them playing at Kyle Field or on national television. Well, we have a great group of young men. We have a great coaching staff that works hard to sharpen and develop the skills of these men that they may be successful student athletes. I come in when life kicks in. A lot of these guys go onto the field, whether it be Kyle Field or out at LSU, wherever it is, and they get to be free. They play as football players. But at some point, that crowd that's cheering for them at Kyle Field or the crowd that's booing for them at LSU Tiger Stadium, they go home. The helmets are taken off the head, and they're now hanging in the lockers, and now these young men have to live the greatest game called life. It's my passion, it's my commitment, it's my calling in life to be able to walk alongside these men in their college years. It's a crazy thing. You guys didn't expect for the thunder and the lightning and the delay to happen. It just happens. Things in life they happen, and you can't plan for them, you can't prepare for them. But just like a game, you make adjustments, right? And you got to be able to make those adjustments together as a team. And it's my job to walk alongside these men when life happens. And so whether you're the young guys growing up and have great aspirations to play college football or high school football first, college football, or even go to the pros, or whether you're the high school kids already and you guys have dreams of playing college football or even into the pros, you have not gotten where you are by yourself. It has taken a lot of people that have invested a lot in you, okay, for you to be here. When you get in the car or at some point before you get home, here's the challenge to you, men. There were coaches and or parents that took out their entire weekend for you guys to be here. And it does not cost you a dime to tell them 2 words: thank you. Thank you for investing in me. Thank you for allowing me to get to College Station and play in this great 7-on-7 tournament. They took out their entire life for you to be able to come out here and play. I want to encourage you guys. Tell them thank you and tell them that you appreciate it. What I get to do with the football players is I get to challenge them. I get to push them. I get to correct them. I get to speak truth into their life if they allow me the privilege to do that. And so one of the things that we really challenge our guys with is being great teammates. Football is the greatest game that teaches us some of the greatest things about the greatest game called life. You have to bring 11 people, whether you're on offense, defense, or you go out there in special teams, and you got to put aside all personal agendas, how you grew up, where you grew up, 1 parent, 2 parents. You got money, you don't have much money, and you got to come together as a team and to be able to execute play after play after play, regardless if you're on offense, defense, or special teams. If you have your job to do, if the left tackle doesn't block, the quarterback can't shine. If the center decides to do his own deal, it may seem insignificant, the big fella's on the line, but everyone on a football field has a job to do. Every single person has a job to do, and that job is important. That job, if you don't do it, it shows up. And you get the high school kids, they know that because they get shown on Saturdays when they watch the film. You didn't do your job. But there are a lot of things that have to happen for a play to be successful, and that is you doing your job. So you have to be a great teammate. You know what a great teammate also does? They hold each other accountable. Accountable is a big word, but accountability is big in football, especially off the field as well, because you need your teammates to handle their business. If they're not going to class, if they're failing tests, things like that, they're not going to be able to play. So you got to hold each other to a high standard. Coach Sumlin, our coaching staff, they expect a lot of our football players. Not only going to workouts, going to class, going to tutorials, going to study hall, going to the nutrition center. And if guys start missing, those reports come back to us, and there's always some type of repercussion to them missing a lot of things. You got to hold each other accountable. Accountability is a huge thing, especially off the field. If you have teammates, especially for the older guys, that want to go out and act crazy and do things that they know they ought not do, you as a good teammate needs to grab your teammate and say, don't do that. It's bad, into that road. The consequences for your actions are dire. And if you get in trouble, you hurt the whole team. You got to hold each other accountable. That's what good teammates do. You also got to be coachable. You got to be coachable because you and we don't know everything. We always have to be in a process of learning. And so you have to be coachable if you want to achieve the highest level in athletics. But you have to be coachable in the game of life as well. You have to be able to have someone who can speak truth to you. Because all of you guys have a certain amount of talent. That's why you ended up here at the end of this tournament with all of these teams. But you have to be coachable. You have to be coachable. Allow coaches, allow teachers, allow parents, allow pastors, allow mentors to pour into your life. Because at the end, it's going to make you better. So you have to be accountable to each other. You have to be coachable. And the last thing I want to share with you guys is you have to develop the gifts, the talents, and the abilities. Number one, that God has given you. You didn't do anything to earn it. All you do is steward that gift, and you sharpen that. You're the one who helps it grow. But God has given all of you, me, all of us, gifts, talents, and abilities, but it's your job to help those things grow. Mom and Dad gave you the DNA, high five them. Great job, Mom, Dad. Somebody, look, I didn't get the DNA to be fast. It's just the way it is. But now I might be able to block a little bit. These hands, don't let these hands fool you. They're a little fast. The feet a little slow, but that's another story. But you've been given by God through your parents great DNA, and that gives you your gifts, your talents, your abilities. Now it's your job to maximize those. It's your job not only to eat right, it's your job not only to lift right. It's just your job, it's your job to study your academics and your playbook. Steward those gifts that you've been given, men. You have an opportunity of a lifetime to play a great game. You have the opportunity of a lifetime to be associated with some great people. I want to challenge you and I want to push you just like I do our football team. Don't just settle for being talented. You got to couple your talent with great character. That's the last thing I want to share with you. Let me tell you something. Your talent will take you places that your character can't keep you. You have to match talent with character. We know all talent. We know a lot of talented people that have blown it, right? They got the talent of the world, but they don't have the character to match it. They're not dependable. They're selfish, not selfless. They care about themselves, not the person to their left or to their right. You have to be a man or woman with character and integrity coupled with that talent. And so if you want to go on to play high school, young fellas, listen, work your skill, work your craft, those gifts you've been given, but also be a good young dude. Have some great character. Older fellas, you guys want to continue to play in high school and even beyond. It doesn't matter if it's at A&M, Incarnate Word. It doesn't matter where it is or what level it is. You have to maximize your talent, but you've got to have character. That's the one thing we do when we evaluate people is there is a character part of the evaluation in recruiting. A lot of schools do it. And if there are red flags in your character, you have fun somewhere else. That's just the way it is. Character is a huge piece of the puzzle. So I just want to challenge you. I want to encourage you guys. Have fun playing football. But you know what, young men? Have fun cleaning your room and making your bed too. Do it the right way, guys. Do it the right way when no one's watching you. Continue to push each other. Listen, I got a sixth grade son. I'm pushing him with this too. I have a daughter who's going to be a senior in high school. I have a daughter who's going to be a freshman in high school. And I watch the young men. I watch them like a hawk. Because I want to make sure that my daughters are walking alongside young men of character I don't care about the accolades because they got to talk to me at some point. I care about the character. Make sure you're treating people right, being a good teammate. And last but not least, if you're a leader on your team, be a great leader. You know what great leaders do? They serve their team. They serve their team. They lead by example. They don't do those things so they can get the score and all the notoriety. Great leaders have people following after them. So make sure you guys are not only great teammates, but you're great leaders. And as you shape and mold your talent, make sure you couple that with great character, especially when no one's watching you. Shape and mold yourself so that you guys can be great men and doing great things, not only for your school, but also for your community, your families, and eventually the world. God has a plan for you. He has a great plan. It is the perfect plan. Continue to walk it out and watch this thing unfold piece by piece by piece. Thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations on everything that you did. Now let's get some trophies. No, thank you. My pleasure.